What are the best exercises to do when working on your scoliosis? What gives you the best bang for your buck? Now, I want you to follow in the footsteps of many of my clients so you can start to slow down, stop, and even reverse your scoliosis. I'm not going to just name the exercises here. I'm actually going to break down the techniques so that you can maximize the effectiveness of each of the movements that you will be doing. And by the end of this video, you will have 3 proven effective exercises that you can do daily to start working on your curve. So let's get to it. So on the spine here, I'm actually going to use the example of an S-shaped scoliosis. All right, so it's very important to know that the spine moves left and right, forwards and backwards, and rotates with a scoliosis. And so in order to help increase mobility, we need to look at the areas where it's going to be stiff and counteract those. Okay, so with a reverse S-shaped scoliosis, you're going to have the rib hump on the left side here, and maybe a thickening of the lower back on the right side. Commonly, you'll get a scapular winging on that left side as well. So what we first want to do is work out a way to open up the inside of this curve. Okay, and that would be to lift that right hand up, or even lower the left hand down. If you can't lift your arm up over your head, you can do that as well. So that's what we're going to work on first. And then we're going to say, all right, in that position, how can we pull the ribs forward on that left side? And we'll show you how to do that. And finally, we want to use the actual action or the motion to actually change the way the spine moves. And we do that by simply taking the head forwards and then backwards. All right, let me show you what that looks like. So in order to change the spine from left to right, we're going to take the right hand up over the head. Now, if you have a door frame like I do here, you can actually reach that hand all the way up and grab hold of the door frame. Or if you're not tall enough to do that, go inside the door frame and hold here. That allows you to get a little bit of traction and pull up and down. So you pull up with your arm and down with your hips to get traction into your upper back. Next, we want to say, well, how do we get the ribs forward on that left side? So you take that left hand forward like this. And so now my ribs are rotated. We want to be careful not to move the hips though, okay? So common mistake people make is they move the hips and that rotation just disappears into the hips. So one way to do that is to push the hips against the wall. So I'm pushing my hips against the wall, take the hand up here, left hand forward here. This is the starting position. I've got traction in my back to lengthen it, and I've got the ribs pulled forward. From here, now I want to increase my ability to bend forwards and backwards. And we do that by simply taking my chest bone down and my chest bone up. Now, a lot of people think this looks like I'm moving my head forwards and backwards. Now, if you did that, it might look like this. That's not doing anything from the spine. In fact, that's probably just going to irritate my neck. And people do that quite commonly because in scoliosis, the upper back gets very stiff and they can only move the head. But I really want you to try and think about the chest bone moving up and the chest bone moving down. So up and down with that bone here whilst holding these positions. Okay. For breathing, and this is important, we want to breathe into that side that's compressed. Okay, so I'm lifting up this side, opening up my right lung. Okay, can you imagine I'm here like this? I'm opening up that right lung as my hand comes over the top, and I want to put air into that lung. But this side will also get air into it, and so it's going to stop me from opening up because it's going to have pressure on this left side. So I want to do 5 repetitions breathing in to open up that right side, and then 5 repetitions breathing out so I can actually move further. All right, so that's what this looks like. Hand up, forward, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Then we're going to go the other way. So as I go forwards, I'm now going to breathe out, and then breathe in, and breathe out, breathe in. So 5 repetitions of both breathing in and then breathing out on the movement. Right, exercise 2 is how do we change that in what we call the frontal plane, left and right. I call this the scoliosis salute. So we're going to take a slightly different position. I take our left hand, take that forward, and maybe a little bit across in front of us. So whatever will bring those ribs forwards and bring that shoulder forwards. And with this hand, I want you to put that onto the back of your head here. Lift your elbow towards the ceiling. This is especially useful if your curve is high up in your back, because we're going to take this elbow up here and we're going to just slowly move the upper back to the left, opening up the inside of that curve. Okay. Now, if your apex of the curve is slightly lower down, you may want to take the hand and reach up and over. But for those of you who had a true S-shaped scoliosis with a curve in the upper back and a curve in the lower back, lift your elbow up to the ceiling. Now, I jokingly call this the scoliosis salute because it looks like we're saluting in a strange sort of way. So left hand comes across in front of you, right hand goes in the back of your head, lift your elbow to the ceiling, and you're going to breathe in as you do that movement 5 times. Then I breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Then when you get to 5, you're going to reverse that to be breathing out and then breathing in, breathing out and breathing in 5 times. Okay, so that's taking care of the spine in 2 ways it moves, forwards and backwards and side to side. Now we have to take those ribs forward and try and see if we can work on that scapular wing. And this one is the same setup as the beginning. You can take your hand up and over, get a little bit of traction through here, and that's very important to get traction. Without traction, there's a group called SOSORT, and they actually say the scoliosis exercises don't count as scoliosis-specific exercises unless there is an element of traction. So that's why we get traction here. The left hand goes forward. Now I want you to imagine there's a doorbell in front of you. Okay, it's about 3 inches in front of you, and all you're going to do is take your left arm forward and ring that doorbell. Okay, ring that doorbell and ring that doorbell. And that is going to start bringing the ribs forward on that left side and start correcting that rib hump and move where your scapula sits. Go do the breathing now, okay? So I press in. Once you've done 5, you can change to breathing out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. There you have it, the 3 best exercises to help your upper curve in a S-shaped scoliosis from the top down. If you got value for this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe because I drop videos like this once a week, tell you everything you need to know about scoliosis and back pain. Now, if you want to know how to add the strength and endurance part of this and then do the same thing for your lower back, or if your spine doesn't quite fit one of these regular S-shaped curves or C-shaped curves, then I'll be happy to talk to you about your situation, see if I can help you with one of my online programs. All you do is just click that link in the description below, book a call with me, and I'll be happy to work with you.